According to an article in the USA Today, homeowners spent $463 billion on home renovations just in the first quarter of 2024. And with all these reality shows showing all these high-end renovations with all these great returns, many homeowners are wanting to do the same by investing in their own home to add value as well. Now, you're going to be surprised at what renovations you may not get your money back. And in today's video, I'll dive into this super important topic, and you'll want to pay attention, especially if you're thinking of selling your home soon or you're investing in real estate. First off, these tips and opinions are my own from experiences renovating homes and helping others sell homes. Now, one thing to obviously always focus on when doing renovations is your time frame on selling, as it has a lot to do with the improvements you do. And we are going to cover the improvements that may not be the best things to do for a quick sale, but at the end of the day, you have to enjoy your home as well and make it your own. Now, with any home renovation or updates you take on, never outspend your neighborhood. You never want to over-improve your property or be the largest home in your neighborhood. And when doing improvements, try not to over-leverage yourself either. Try to pay for these home improvements by cash if at all possible, and only use a home equity line of credit or a credit card if that is your last option. Now, calculating your budget, use the 30% rule, meaning if your budget, for example, is $50,000, 30% is an additional $15,000 over, just to protect yourself from those surprised overages that can and usually do come up with any home improvement job. Now, first off, we all know paint is a great return on investment, but doing the wrong colors actually be not so great return on your investment. When buyers are looking at homes, and with the high cost of homes already, they may not share in your taste in the colors you chose, and that bright red kitchen or that purple bedroom may be appealing to you, but believe it or not, they may move on to a different home, as some see repainting as a huge expense, and they just do not want to deal with that. And I'm not saying your color selections are bad. I am only saying if you're trying to sell and you're painting your home to do so, then stick with more neutral colors. Some of those popular colors are whites, of course, and those grays that we see everywhere now are still in, and also beige works well. And if you're painting your rooms for what you want and you're on a longer time frame and it makes you happy, then just paint whatever colors you choose and what makes you feel good. Now, here's an improvement that helps sell your home, and you can look at this as a good return on investment due to more of a time factor, since the home may sell quicker, but a return on your money invested, not so much. I'm talking about extensive landscaping. Now, don't get me wrong, curb appeal means everything, and when a buyer drives up to your home, it's the very first thing that they notice. There is a fine line between a well-manicured lawn, some mulch, and flowers, but doing a high-end water feature or any other expensive hardscape just to sell it will not get you a higher return, or it even times gets your money back you invested on this altogether. In the projects that I have done, I learned the hard way that if you don't have a yard at all, that home will sit longer than a home that at least has grass and a fence for the kids and dogs to utilize. That's why grass, mulch, flowers are not bad things to do if your yard needs it. And usually, depending on the size of your yard, of course, you may be able to do this and not spend much money at all. Again, if you're staying in your home for the next 5 years or so, then do what you want to do. Just keep in mind that it is easy to spend $50,000 upward to $100,000 just in landscaping, and dollar for dollar, it's a tough one to get your money back. But again, it will create quicker sale opportunity, which is always an important factor to consider as well. Now let's talk about swimming pool. And according to Home Advisor, the average cost of building a swimming pool in your yard ranges from $20,000 to $100,000, with the national average of $62,500. Now, if you're lucky, you might be able to recoup half the cash that you invested, but it obviously depends where you are located. And from years of selling properties, pools usually discourage more buyers than not. And again, this all depends on what area of the country you are located, but pools have a lot of maintenance, and the usability, if you're located in, say, Colorado, may only be for a few months, and if you're located in warmer climates, it may be easier to go to the beach instead. And no matter the location, families see pools as a safety hazard for kids and also see the high cost of maintenance and insurance costs, and most buyers usually want to take them out completely, so they'll move on to another property instead. Now again, if you're staying in your home for at least 5 years or so and you want a pool, don't let this stop you. But any less than that, you may want to reconsider this, as the difficulty selling the house and the lost dollars for the installation definitely won't improve your return on investment. Now let's talk about adding solar panels to your home. Yes, this is a bit of a controversial topic for sure. In full disclaimer, I'm only giving you the vantage points that I have dealt with on transactions. Now, solar can be expensive to install, as the average cost around the time of this video is around $15,000 to $25,000. And as far as a return on investment, they can take a while to recoup, depending on if you finance them or you paid cash outright for them. Now, one thing to know with solar panels, if you choose to finance them through the company you're dealing with, please note that a UCC lien is usually filed on your home, and if you choose to sell before they're paid off, the new buyer either needs to qualify to assume the remainder of the term of that lease, or you may have to offer to pay the lease off in full at closing, transfer them free and clear to the new buyer. Now, from my experiences and where I'm located, a lot of potential buyers do not want the additional payments, and some don't even want the solar panels at all. And as far as a return on investment, this again depends where you're located. Some areas, if it's common for that area, the panels may get a little value consideration. Now, the return on investment to those that choose solar is usually the lower energy bills that they may get. I would say unless you're staying in your home for 10 years or so, the return on investment may be very small, if any at all, not to mention the difficulty selling the home with the solar panels attached. Again, it all depends where you're located, but it's definitely not a good option if you're either flipping a home or selling your home in a very short period of time. Now let's move on to carpet. Yes, like paint, carpet can be a good return on investment only if done so correctly. Now, if you're choosing this as an option because you're staying in your home for a long period of time and you want carpet and it makes you enjoy the home, it's perfectly okay. But if you're selling within the next 5 years or so, it may not get as much return on investment. More and more buyers are wanting hard flooring options more than ever, and I have done a video based upon the types of flooring to choose. Now, wall-to-wall carpet may feel cozy under your feet, but it's unfortunately seen as outdated and also a very high maintenance item to other buyers. Carpeting those bathrooms especially is one area definitely to avoid. Now, if you're staying in your home for at least 5 years and that's your thing, again, it's perfectly fine, but maybe choose a better quality type of carpet, and of all things, invest in a good pad. The pad is a very important thing, and when you go to sell the carpet, if you opted for an upgrade, will hopefully still be in great shape next potential buyer. Now, if you're selling soon or flipping a home, just don't go too cheap on the carpet either. You can get a good middle of the road carpet that will give you a good presentation to that next potential buyer. Now, have you been thinking of taking a room out or converting that garage into a living area? This might seem like a great way to add living space or even an open concept, but I want to stress to you, you need to be very, very careful here. Every bedroom in a home adds value, and I have seen homes where a bedroom was taken out to make another bedroom larger. And now if you're doing this option to expand, say, your master bedroom, and again, you're staying in that home for a while, and you want it just for you, it is a great option. I just want you to understand that some families want more bedrooms on upper level, and removing one or two can really impact the value of your home when you go to resell. Now, you also see a lot of people, especially in these older homes, convert garage spaces into living areas. Unless you have a detached garage for storage and parking, I would discourage this unless, again, it's for you. But just knowing that when you go to sell, most buyers want a place to store and park their cars, and especially depending on the area of the country that you are located. If you're located in, say, a cold state, for instance, people want their cars in the garage if at all possible. Again, I totally understand your reasonings, but just don't do this for resale purposes. Do it for you and you only. Now, another thing I see a lot, whether you're doing it for yourself, and people also do this for resale, and it's easy to get overboard on your expenses on this one, but doing those high upgrades on modest homes, most people have that mindset that the more they do and the higher end finishes they do, that will pay off in the end. Well, unfortunately, they do not pay off as much as you would think. When it comes time to resell, doing those things like quartz countertops and super high-end cabinets, if you live in an area that is more common to have basic cabinets, laminate, or granite countertops, you may take a hit on your return on your investment. Now, always consider your goals and who may buy your home in that area. Focus on updates that are cost-effective and appeal to more broad range of buyers. Keep a larger buyer pool when you're selling. And again, I want to stress, as I have through this video, I'm mainly stating this towards people looking to sell within the next 5 years or so. But either way, you cannot go wrong making the home for you either. Updating your home is always a good thing to do, as let's face it, your home's your investment and you want a place that makes you feel good while you're living there. Always consider your timelines on how long you plan on being in the home. And if your answer is you're unsure, well, let's face it, most of us are, because we never know what tomorrow may bring. But if you at least are thinking 5 years, then maybe doing things that'll make you happy and enjoying that home are worth it to you, then there's no need to worry about a return on investment. Now, if you're short term and ready to list your house, then really consider things you can do that keep the home in style with the others in your neighborhood, but yet don't run you way overboard on expenses. Now, if you have questions or need help on this, my contact information's down below. I can also connect you with someone out in your area that has experience with all this as well. And if you found this video helpful, please share it with someone who could benefit. I'm David Novak, and we'll see you next time.